Good morning, traders. How we all doing today? What a day it's going to be on the market and the S&P, and for all the big holders overall. We got some pretty big news today. So today, what we got is PCE. So this is going to be a big deal considering that we got FOMC next week. The Fed's going to be really looking at this number. If this is worse than expected, I would really expect markets to dump. If it comes out at expected rates or better, then you might get a slight rally in the markets. Considering the bearish sentiment with the whole Israeli conflict, I don't know how much of a bullish move you might get here, but I'm just saying that you'll get some upward price action, at least if it comes out as expected or better. If it comes out worse, markets are going to really dump hard. But we're going to be going over all of the big holders and SPY. I would really appreciate it if you guys leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you guys would prefer. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's get right on to it. So Tesla pre-market, where are we at? Let's see. So right now we're testing 209 as a support level. So if we're able to hold 209 as support, then you can expect a range between 209 to 217. Now, what I would really watch for is to see if it treats it as a resistance, if it does break it down. If it does, then expect a lot more bearish price action in the next couple of days. Because the big thing to watch was to see if this 209 held, and it was a clear break yesterday of 209. So what I'm really thinking might happen is you either might get a false breakdown, it gets treated as support, then you might range bound between 209 and 217, or you break down 209 completely and you start making a break for 195. But that's what I'm watching on Tesla. Now Apple. Big thing on Apple is going to be to see if the 164 and 169 possibly can get held up. Now let's see where we are on the pre-market. So pre-market is showing that we're at 166.50. So the big thing to see is if we end up doing a little bit of a rally up to 169, if it treats it as a resistance point, if it does, then you expect to drop to 164 quite fast. And if we hit 169 but break above it and then hold it as a support level, then you can expect 171 and 173 to come. But I don't know. I'm just very bearish on Apple overall. And if I'm bearish on Apple, that means you have to be bearish on SPY. We also have earnings coming out, I know, sometime soon on Apple. I don't know when. I'll have to look into that. But next one is going to be Microsoft. Now, the big thing to watch on Microsoft is to see if 325 holds up as a support or if 334 holds up as a resistance. If we break above 334 and mount 334, then you can expect to move to 339. If we start breaking down 325, then you expect 315 to come quite fast. But you also have this double bottom pattern forming up. You could also call it a head and shoulders. Just keep it in mind. So it's looking bullish and bearish, a lot of mixed signals, but everything's kind of been mixed lately. So I think it really comes down to the PCE data today. But next one we're going to be going over is NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, the big thing to watch on NVIDIA is to see if this 410 level ends up holding up as a resistance. If it does, then you can expect 403 to come quite fast. If it holds up as a support level, then like I've been saying, watch the range bound between 410 and 437 on NVIDIA. Then SPY. Where are we at with SPY? Let's see here. So we're at 413.63. Now the big thing is the major levels this week was 420 and 416. We broke those two quite fast. If we end up holding 416 as a level that was broken down and now it's a resistance, then I would expect 410, 400, and possibly even 390 to come really fast on SPY. It might get really ugly, especially with Apple earnings. I'm not expecting them to turn out the best. But last but not least, we're going to be going over McDonald's. So McDonald's, let's see here. I believe we're at 255.42. Let me just check my stock WhatsApp. Sometimes they have better pre-market numbers. So we're at 256.18 right now. So that puts us, let's see, like right about here. So again, we're kind of range bound in McDonald's between 254.60 and 259.11. So let's watch those level on McDonald's. And I do have a position as like I've been saying. So where I'm going to be stopping out of this is about 249.52. I bought them for 259.52. So it's up at a break even. And as I was mentioning in yesterday's video as well, I am starting to build a position in AMD. I bought some at the worst place possible yesterday, which was at like 100 at some point. I don't know where it hit 100, but it was at 100 at some point. It was bad. So the big thing for me is to see if we can hold the 95 support. Now, if it does start breaking down lower, I'm not too worried because I'm slowly building a position. I think that it's greatly oversold. And I think that in terms of trends, you might head to the downside. But overall, I'm bullish on NVIDIA. I'm on AMD. So even if it hits like 90 or 80, I'm still going to be just dollar cost averaging into the position. But that's what I'm going to be watching today, traders, and good luck.